Okay. Just will say page 4. Just those two prayers, 4 and 5.
Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Until awakening, okay, sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion.
Oh, okay. First, please take a deep breath. Inhale fully and exhale all the stress. And then please refresh our pure altruistic motivation to attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings. So we have been repeating some precious teachings. These teachings are for all the sentient beings that Buddha taught. We all are connected to each other. So our benefit, my own happiness, is so much depends on others. Without the others, or without the others' support, I cannot live my life happily. Or like say, just look at the plate of vegetable. That vegetable is produced by the other people. They grow. And then the agent, they organize, brought to the store, and we buy from the store. And then we got the plate of vegetable. Likewise, we are grown up with others' support. And then others, our thought, cultivation thought for others' benefit is our own benefit. So we are so dependent on each other so much. Like in the practice of, taking refuge, we take refuge in the Buddha Dhamma Sangha. By taking refuge in the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, we get all the benefits. And practice of loving kindness, compassion, Because of others, we can practice love and compassion to others. We can't practice love and compassion on the piece of rock. You just place a piece of rock in front of you and say, I practice compassion. And people think you are crazy. Practice of generosity depends on others. Because of their others, if you practice generosity, you get all the opportunity. Practice of patience, because of others' irritation to you, you get the practice of patience. So look at all this, how much we are interconnected. Because of that, Buddha talked about the practice of loving kindness, compassion, bodhicitta. We cultivate the bodhicitta, I will attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings. Because when we say for the benefit of all sentient beings, means we get all the benefits. In the first place, we become Buddha. So just look at this reality nature. Sentient beings are such an important condition. So Buddha attained Buddhahood by practicing bodhicitta and attained the Buddhahood. So Buddha understood that Buddha attained Buddhahood because of sentient beings. So to repay kindness of the sentient beings, Buddha taught all his precious Dharma teachings. We to study, to practice. And then, moreover, or more important, look at Buddha's teaching is the mind. Mind is very mysterious, very difficult to understand. Even very advanced modern technologies, the scientists are using, they have very hard time, difficult time to see the mind. So they measure the mind in the brain. So they say brain is the brain in the skull cup or in the skull. Say this is the mind. They say, no. But you see, mind is little more than the brain. Brain is just one handful of flesh, you see. The mind is, you see, it goes everywhere, unlimited. Even with confused mind, how much is there going on? The mind, piece of brain, how you can imagine how that can do. So brain is the office of mind. You should understand that. Brain is the office of the mind, and the heart is the home of the mind. The mind walks in the brain, then it keeps busy. In the office, you keep busy, all the communication, all these things, So then when the mind goes in the brain, then all the things are everywhere, And when mind comes down in the heart, relaxes. So you see, love and compassion comes from the heart. All the artificial intelligence, so that's called. Anyway, intelligence, the intelligence of the activities manifests in the brain. So look at this, So we can say the brain is the office of the mind, and the heart is the home of the mind. So anger, sometimes anger comes from the heart, not so much from the brain. Brain is just, just become busy, Real love and compassion comes from the heart. So we need to know that. So when we have love and compassion, the heart relaxes, peaceful. When these negative thoughts come manifest, the heart is beating, cannot rest enough. Therefore, we need to rest our own benefit. Sometimes people think love and compassion practices for weak person. We need aggressive mind, to do things. Maybe you have to work hard, but not aggressive as anger, hatred. So these mental delusions cause of the lot of diluted in the mind, the pollution, the environment. See, outer, now they're talking about so much the climate changing, and as yesterday I mentioned the story about the four friendly, harmonious, friendly beings, animals, and those cause of their practice that everything's so calm and peaceful. Now is so competitive, and then the mind is so polluted. Pollution of the minds pollutes the air, water, all the climate. The suffering is coming from there. All the outer environment, whatever the things happening, it's because of our mental reaction, But very few will talk about the mind. How to fix the outside, this. You cannot fix the outside until we fix the inner mind. That's why what I mean, we need this good understanding of the mind, not as a religion, not as something spiritual. It's everybody's interest. Believer, non-believer, the mind is same. Believer, non-believer's mind, spiritual, non-spiritual, educated, uneducated, rich or poor. We share the same kind of feeling, desire for peace and happiness, desire to free from suffering. It's universal. That's the constitution of the universe. Based on that, the cause for the peace and happiness is for all same. The cause for suffering is shared by same. Just example, when there's anger, anybody, Buddhist, non-Buddhist, educated, uneducated, rich, poor, even animals, when they have anger, there's stress. Shared by everybody, When there's a sense of love, compassion, even animals, there's a peace. It's universal. That's what Buddha taught. And that's the reality, nature. So Buddha's teaching taught, not something Buddha made up, but taught according to the reality, nature, which is called causality, is the frame work of the causality is the frame work of the all phenomena. That's why these are teachings that they taught here. Something that these are Buddhists, no? They may say, no? It's actually for everybody's interest. But we need such a skillful, no? And we need such kind of who has kind of capacity, ability, who can express these things. So look at this, we just have to meditate, reflect on, and we have to make the things that to happen in this 21st century. Okay, so now here, we'll continue from this teaching this morning. Now we are page 37 in this booklet, if you have. That therefore the great mantra of Pranja Paramita, the mantra of great insight, the unsurpassed mantra, the mantra equal to the unequal, the mantra that calms all suffering. See, there are 5 of them. The mantra of Panchaparamita, the mantra of the great insight, the mantra, the unsurpassed mantra, the mantra equal to the unequal, and the mantra that calm all the suffering. Look at this. So even this is a sutra. It's not a tantra, but this is a sutra. But they use the mantra. Mantra is a Sanskrit word, as you know. Prajaparamita is Sanskrit. So mantra, there's 2 words, mantra. Man means mind. It's called mind, or consciousness. Tara means protection, which protects the mind. All our mental delusions, they destroy the mind of the peace, our peace of the mind, our relax of the mind, the clarity of the mind, the profundity of the mind is all destroyed by the delusion, mental afflictions. All these mental afflictions are based on ignorance. Ignorance is the root of all the mental afflictions. So you have heard of, there are 84,000 types of mental afflictions, which all are based on the ignorance. So ignorance is pervaded to all this. So within the ignorance manifests all this mental afflictions. They keep busy. They are the messenger of the ignorance. Go around, collect all the misinformation, okay? And then everyone is confused because of misinformation. And then a lot of confusion there. And then we are so ingrained the habit within that. And then all the suffering is produced. We don't want suffering. Just for example, in reality, in your life, everyone wants to be happy. You don't want to get upset. You don't want to be angry at all. So no, I don't want to be angry. No. Anger is, I don't like anger. If somebody expresses anger, you're just afraid of that. You become distant about that. You yourself don't want to be angry. But when causes and condition meets, pops up anger out of your control. because this, I'm hungry. And you don't realize how much suffering is there. After you just slow down, other day I was so angry, the day was so bad. I was not really happy, you see. But it's there when things come together. So that's the Buddha's teaching to recognize what's the suffering, what's the cause of suffering. Yes. So Buddha's teaching is about the mind. So precious. Just as I mentioned, it's not just a spiritual thing. Some people think it's chanting mantras, it's a spiritual thing. Practice of loving kindness is something spiritual thing, This universal requirement. Everybody needs that. So this mantra, so mind protection, all the Dharma teachings are mind protection. See, starting from reflecting on the impermanence. So when you're seeing everything so concrete, real, and all substantial, tangible, all this, when you see this, then first of all, the ignorance is strong there because you're grasping all this. And because of that, then our attachment, our anger are strong. And suffering is there. Within such kind of state, when you see everything is impermanent, and there's little difference you see in your mind. When you're talking about somebody is so bad, they done this. So everything's impermanent, changing. So okay. It loosens his mind so uptight. Makes the difference, you see. Then, as yesterday I mentioned, the mother, our child died, like that. So sometimes we say, I'm the one who is suffering. All the rest people are so happy, so successful. We should see that. In your rooms, you say, I'm the one who's suffering. And then you are depressed, If you understand, everyone has limitation. Everyone is suffering. Then you see your mind feels more relaxed, acceptable. Or I'm not the only one who's suffering. There's so many others are suffering. It gives us such kind of opportunity to open your heart. All others are suffering as well. It gives the way to develop loving kindness, compassion. You understand more others about. So then when you study the Buddha's teaching this way, gives you responsibility. I must do more. Because I have the opportunity to see the Buddha's teaching, wisdom. They don't have that. Because of they don't have this opportunity, they have more chance to make mistake than I. But like this, this is calm. This protection of the mind. That's step by step, you see, take refuge in the Buddha Dharma Sangha. Taking refuge is such a precious thing. Refuge is the highway method towards the enlightenment. everything is within in the refuge. Sometimes you see, you just start, I finish my refuge practice. Do you say that? When you did 100,000 frustration, then you say, I finish my refuge practice. You cannot finish, until you become Buddha. Okay. No matter how deity, you say this is the highest deity practice. You say, they're in the Vajrayana. There's 4 classes of the Tantra. Karya Tantra, Chaya Tantra, Yoga Tantra, Anuttara Tantra. So this is Anuttara Tantra practice, highest yoga. Still you start with the refuge. Sanje, Chada, Saje, Sana, Why? Listen, it's taught by Buddha. And then all the great teachers, they taught us that way. That means refuge is the first. Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, refuge. Until I achieve enlightenment. Yeah. So then go to the Uttara Tantra. Uttara Tantra. You know Uttara Tantra? Have you studied Uttara Tantra? By Maitreya. The Maitreya is the 5, what do you call it? 5 treatises of Uttara Tantra. Maitreya teachings. Abhisamaya Alankara. Dodije. The Sutra Alankara. Then Udanamji, Chuinamche, 4. And then Uttara Tantra. In that mentioned, the Amber Tondo Drawai, Yamni Sanje Yashikas, Amber Tondo Drawais, Drawai Yap. Ultimate refuge of the sentient being is the Buddha. To what you Kujinshus? Buddha is the Buddha. And the Buddha is the perfection of the Dharma. That's called Dharmakaya. Dharmakaya. So Kaya, Dharma is the Dharma. Buddha is the embodiment of the Dharma. Buddha is Buddha. Buddha is the embodiment of Dharma. And Buddha is the absolute Sangha. Sangha Bodhisattvas, they follow the path. When perfected the path, that Sangha Bodhisattva become Buddha. So Buddha is the embodiment of all this Buddha Dharma Sangha. So refuge is that. So we should understand that refuge is the path you take first. Seeing the samsara is nature of the suffering. And then renounce samsara. There, by renouncing samsara, we take refuge to Buddha Dharma Sangha. And then follow the path, studying the Dharma all the way and practicing the Dharma. And then one becomes the Buddha. So there's refuge is the path. From there, then all this bodhicitta is also Dharma. Relative bodhicitta is Dharma. Absolute bodhicitta is Dharma. See? So that these are the protection. All the Buddha's teaching is protection of the mind. Protect from confusion. To protect from the suffering. So that is the, what it says, Bhanja Paramita. transcendental wisdom. That Buddha's teaching is the perfection of the mind, that you achieve the perfection of the mind, which is the protection of the mind through that wisdom. So understand that the great mantra of Paramita. So here, great means beyond samsara. Yeah. Even in the samsara, before we achieve enlightenment, we study, practice Dharma, we get benefit in the mind's protection. But the go beyond the samsara is the Pancha Paramita, the perfection of the mind. And the mantra of the great insight, you see. Insight here, you have heard of special insight, Hakdong. Anybody knows Hakdong, Shine Hakdong, the word terminology? So Shine is karma abiding, Shamatha, Shuvarneba, the abiding the peace, calm abiding, or abiding in the peace, the Shamatha. When the mind is more abide in the peace, Shamatha, then the mind, the quality of the mind can manifest special insight from there. You see nature of all phenomena. You can see the nature of your delusion. Then the delusion has no place. Delusion can be disappeared within in the emptiness. That's what saying, the mantra, the great insight. So great insight, seeing the selflessness, nature of the person and the phenomenon. The answer pass mantra. So now I can answer pass. Answer pass means beyond samsara, enlightenment. This is Sharavaka, enlightenment. What the Buddha's enlightenment? Bodhisattva's enlightenment. Buddha's enlightenment is beyond samsara, answer pass. Then until to achieve, when you achieve Buddhahood, total answer pass, enlightenment. That through that, the mind is totally protected. That mantra, answer pass mantra. The mantra equal to the unequal. Unequal is Buddhahood. Buddhahood, the highest. Nobody can compare in the samsara, even in the nirvana. Charvaka, Patik Buddha, Bodhisattvas. So to equal that unequal Buddhahood is part this mantra protection of this wisdom. I'm just practicing in your mind. So that's what I mean. Mind is so profound. There's so many to progress step by step, which I will explain also part of there. Then the last one, the mantra that calms all suffering. The total, is called the total exhaustion of the suffering. Total exhaustion of the cause of suffering. Then suffering is totally exhausted. There's no place for the suffering. Because all the cause of suffering is now what exists. So this is that calms all suffering, pacifies all suffering. And this calm, pacify suffering. The suffering is total, pacified within in that wisdom. It's through this wisdom, especially inside, and we get the total protection of the mind. So because of that, it should be known to be true. Should be known to be true. So this is not a lie. This is true, because it said, since it is understand the correct, the true nature, because there's no lie. There's no deceiving. So what they're saying is Buddha will never tell lie. Yeah. But there's no reason to tell lie. Because Buddha's perfected freedom of suffering. Total achieved enlightenment. Now why he should tell lie? And not only that, Buddha has a compassion. Such a great compassion. When you have compassion, you have no reason to tell lie, no reason to deceive. Because of that, we take refuge to Buddha. As this morning I mentioned, Buddha attained Buddhahood because of sentient beings. And sentient beings have endowed. Sentient beings are endowed with Buddha nature, which is the same quality of the Buddha. But because of the adventitious obscurations, the sentient beings are suffering so much. And when Buddha sees this, then it's heartbreaking. They all have as my own nature that I have. But they are suffering so much. And their suffering is endless, very complex. How I can help? How they should be free from all the suffering? So if somebody takes refuge in the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, Buddha feels so good about that. If somebody cultivates bodhicitta, and then Buddha says, oh, somebody is cultivating bodhicitta. That is something like, whole world you offer to Buddha. I offer whole universe to Buddha. Please take it, Buddha don't need that. But if somebody takes refuge, if somebody cultivates bodhicitta, and Buddha is so happy about it. So Buddha's to make happy or to please the Buddha, so cultivate bodhicitta. And that will make the Buddha happy. That's the best offering, highest offering. So under such kind of this condition, how Buddha can tell lie to the sentient beings? How Buddha can make mistake? You know? So that's why I teach you all these teachings. Now you are the responsible to study, practice them. That's why Buddha said, rely on the Dharma, not rely on person. The 4 reliances, you know that? Yesterday I mentioned one. Rely on the Dharma. So I teach you all this and you must practice. You should rely on the Dharma. And the rely on the ultimate, not the relative state. Rely on the wisdom, not the consciousness. Rely on the meaning, not the word. So these 4 reliances, they are very important. We all understand this. Make sure you understood this. Practice this way. And then if you practice this way, you can share that to others. And Dharma can remain for many years and can really bring benefit in the society, in the individual's life. These all are taught because, as mentioned, our mind is so complex. It's not just one thing. Maybe very highly accomplished beings, and when one knows one thing, knows everything. Milarepa said, when I know one, I know everything. Milarepa said, Chikshu Kundul, you know. And all things you know into the one. But for us, still, it's not so that easy, you know. We need a lot of support, you know, all these things. Read, study, meditate. So Buddha's teaching is for everybody, not just monks and nuns, for lay people. That's what it's called. The 4 gatherings practitioner. Bhikkhu, bhikkhuni, monk. Then Khenchen, upasaka, upasika, lay people. So both. Sometimes in we think the Dharma practice is the responsible for the monks and nuns, you know. We are not responsible. And so that is something's missing. Now we should understand both has the responsibility to study, to practice. Should be known to be true, since it is undeceiving. And then in mantra that comes next here, the Pranjaparamita mantra is said as follows: Om Gate, Gate, Para, Gate, Para, Sam, Gate. There are 5 of them. The 2 Gate, 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 Gate. And then Parakate, 3rd. Parasamgate, 4th. This relates to the 5 paths. You know the 5 paths? 5 paths. Say, preparation, a special insight path, and part of meditation, and the part of the perfection of meditation. Now, as yesterday, other day, Friday, Saturday, today we here, in this case, some of you Yes, I just spoke about, impermanence of all phenomena, suffering of the samsara, all these things. And everyone is in the samsara, they are confused and suffering so much. And then their suffering is unending. You solve one problem, and then next day another starts. And you work so hard to complete that, to solve that suffering, and there comes another suffering. And just keep going. There's no one day. So now in the samsara, I have taken care of everything. Now I have no suffering in the samsara. We don't have the history of that, So by understanding these things, and what should I do? Then what you study, what the Buddha taught, you contemplate, make sure you understood. So then, basically, the four foundations: precious human life, impermanence of all phenomena, the suffering of samsara, and the causality, cause and result. Oh, I see. This explains about all samsara. Now, how to free from samsara? Because you take refuge, you start there. Yeah. After you take refuge, you are not taking refuge only for yourself, but all the sentient beings benefit as we have the short refuge. I take refuge in the Buddha Dhamma Sangha until I achieve enlightenment. By the practice of generosity and so forth, may I attend now for the benefit of all, for the Robinson. May I attend Buddhahood for sentient beings' benefit. That way, you take refuge until you become Buddha. All your practices share for other sentient beings' benefit. You start from there. So from there, when you start, you are now starting the path of accumulation. Okay, the first path. Now you see the samsara is not the place to stay all the time. Okay, you change your mind now. I have to go forward, enlightenment. Then accumulation of the merit. You try to accumulate merit, accumulate wisdom. That's what's called the path of accumulation. The two accumulations, wisdom and merit. You start from there. And from that, path is called four mindfulnesses. Have you heard of that? I'm sure you have heard of. These are explained so well in the Jewel Ornament of Liberation. Yeah. The mindfulness of the body, mindfulness of the feeling, mindfulness of the mind, mindfulness of the dharma, phenomena. As in the samsara, we are so attached to our body. Most of our suffering is related to our attachment to the body. So for the remedy to heal that attachment, to release the attachment to the body. It doesn't mean you don't eat or wear clothes. Okay, you eat, you wear clothes. No, you can stay in a beautiful place, but not so much excessive attachment. See, and this morning I mentioned, look at the body. I'm attached to what? Just skin, just thin skin, nothing. Underneath the skin, flesh, blood, all the nerve systems. Then moon, what is the essence there? Look at this. Like this, you just get. The scarecrow, scarecrow? It's like a scarecrow. The farmers, they have that, when there's a fruit or some to protect from the elephant or bird, then you just put the scarecrow, from distance. Oh, there's something. We don't know. There's a person, it scares you, So we are like a scarecrow. And then this right hand, left hand, all the combination put together, one thing, It's not one, In a real sense, it's just scarecrow, So look at this mindfulness, release the attachment. There are more, of course, a lot of things. Time to talk all over the things. I'm sure you have read there, no? These things also described in the Jewel Ornament of Liberation, chapter 16, as the Samadhi section. Not too much, but just enough to understand. This usually I say, in Thailand, and monks that are doing this kind of practice for like a week long. They sit in the empty room, and the more they put all the book that they are in front of them. It's just a heap of attachment. I think that's very, very helpful, useful. Otherwise, it's called our pernicious attachment. It's very stubborn. Yeah. But to release this, we need many skill, many method. We're not making these things are bad, but to realize reality nature, to free from the suffering. So these are all called mindfulness of body. Then mindfulness of feeling. So where's the feeling? Despite your whole body, where's the feeling? It's outside, inside, where? Your good feeling about what? Your bad feeling is where about? It's nowhere. Let's look at this. The mindfulness of feeling. Then look at the mindfulness of the mind. The mind is so agitated, unsettled, so impermanent. In 1 second, we think of hundreds of things, so mind is so busy, And it's nowhere. It's inside the body, it's in the heart, in the lungs, in the stomach, or in the outside, where you can find. So just like a mirage. Mirage? See? It's like a mirage. But we are so fixated. And all the mindfulness of phenomenon, It's all also impermanent, changing all the time. So through this, then you practice Dharma. When you could contemplate on this way, then there really comes the peace in the mind. The peace that develops within in your mind, meditation, and that peace is the real peace. That's how Buddha taught we to have our own peace, how we can. Otherwise, we're just expecting outside. I want to be happy to go to a special place, special, so maybe to the beach, And today the beach is so good. Let's go there, have some fun, Let's go to the mountain. This is so beautiful. Get some fun, So our peace and happiness always we're expecting from outside. Instead, looking from within us, how we can achieve, how we can establish. And then from there, slowly, then there are 3 stages in that part of accumulation. And from there, it's called 4 power. And perfect abundance, So look at, you all the non-virtuous thoughts that what we have, creating negative karma, avoid all those. First, we stop those. If we have been accumulating, avoid, stop those. Then second is not allow these negative thoughts. The third, allow all the virtuous thoughts, practice. And the fourth, practice on those. Through that, we get good meditation. So they call 4 miraculous feet. It's actually a meditative concentration. You develop meditation. So these 3 are within in the a part of accumulation. So meditate. Then that's what's called first, gate. Gate means Sanskrit. Go is called go or realize. Go, So go from samsara towards the enlightenment, okay? Say, don't stay, behind in samsara. Go forward, enlightenment. So first goal is, now you start. If you want to go from here to Takoma Park, place isn't it? You start from here. First, you prepare, you're walking or you prepare a car, starting car, beginning, okay. And next, go, gate. Second gate is the part of accumulation. The part of preparation. Now you prepare, or sometimes they use the part of accumulation. The part of application is a part of application and a part of preparation. So these are 2 part of application. Application. You apply for the cross the samsara, or prepare to free from samsara, and there's you meditating, you studying about this seriously about the practice of bodhicitta, the bodhicitta of the aspiration, especially the bodhisattva of the action. And then also you're studying like Heart Sutra, understanding the emptiness of the self, emptiness of the phenomena. And then you're practicing the 6 parameters. So you just study, practice, following step by step. And there are 4 stages. The heat on your meditation is coming better. Your understanding of the emptiness is also warming up. Warming up. Then next coming heat, that warming up understanding of the emptiness, more powerful. Then when you see everything's illusory nature, before you work, grasping, oh, this is real, this is real, this is real. And when you realize this is not real, this illusory nature, everything's like a mirage, everything like a dream. Sometimes it scares you. Oh, I thought this was real, but nothing's real, They're called soba. This is a forbearance of the your practice. You bear the courage of the seeing everything as like a mirage. Still not directly, you have not directly realized emptiness. Closer. These are the application to free from samsara. Here you see sometimes, before we have, oh, this is me, I'm going, I'm eating, I'm happy, I'm not happy. Oh, no, so you're so grasping as real, Now you see, I'm not real. That's really strange, Sometimes it's a little scary, Because for so long in the samsara, we were so habituated on that. Everything is just, display of the magic show. So you see like these things. Then last was called Chejo. Last, most supreme in the samsara. Chejo. The supreme dharma in the samsara. So that these are the 2 gate, okay? Go, realize, okay? First realization, second realization. In the samsara, practice these things. This is how you see how everything's described. This is not a Buddhist thing, okay? You should understand. Sometimes we say, oh, this is what Buddhists say, Buddhists believe. This is a cause and a condition how to free from samsara. Somebody asks, okay, can other path can free from samsara? If they have complete cause, of course. But Buddha, who realized this totally, and then they taught us to the followers, you should follow this way. That's what's called taking refuge to Buddha and Dharma. See? Don't draw it. This. I don't know. This is don't buy champagne, don't do chola, tap cheba. Did you let to Shana? You mean I like this? There's one Indian great master who came not too long after Buddha passed away, but in Nirvana. Name of the text that he wrote was getting his name. Anyway, he wrote comparing at that time the Buddhist and then there's a lot of Hindu tradition, So then all the studying so much there, what is it? So one then who understood all these teachers, different teachers. So he said, I take refuge in the Buddha. Because Buddha is the perfect. Why I take refuge in the Buddha? Buddha is perfection of all the faults, purified all the faults, and perfected all the excellent qualities. That's why I take refuge in the Buddha. Then when he said that, there comes one person. In that case, everybody should take refuge in the Buddha, but not many people take refuge in the Buddha. Why? And his response was this. They don't take refuge in Buddha because samsara, they like the false misinformation. Then these all misinformations, they see as a good quality, They like those things, and they enjoy these things. So these all false, they see as a wonderful thing, Therefore, they don't take refuge in the Buddha. Like that. So those, we don't say there's a mistake, but we just say how Buddha's teaching is, and respect all the rest. And then you follow exactly what Buddha said. Yeah. And the next, paragade, we say, gade, paragade. Gade, paragade. Paragade means go beyond. Means beyond samsara. That time you have this special insight now. You directly see the nature of the emptiness. Before you see, as mentioned, a heating up fire, but not enough fire is burning. Now, actually, the fire is burning. Paragate. Para means beyond. Go beyond. Realize the beyond reality nature. Yeah. Paragate. So there we have seven branch of the enlightenment. Like the great joy and mindfulness and samadhi, diligence. So when you realize the first bhumi, that's the first bhumi, and the third part, special insight. And that bodhisattva who have accumulated all the virtue, great virtue, and special insight there. Because you are practicing bodhicitta, to benefit all sentient beings, then the Bodhisattva have a great joy. The two benefits, joy towards the enlightenment. Now, enlightenment is closer. They feel such great joy. And second joy, they have more ability to help other sentient beings because they realize the emptiness and the ultimate Bodhisattva. That's what the first movement is called great joy. Ramtokawa. Practice that. That what you have seen in the first bhumi, in the third part, now you have to practice. You have seen it, but not perfected. So they go through all the part of meditation. It's called Gate, Gate, Para Gate. Then the fourth is Para Samgate. Go farther beyond. That is, from the first bhumi, the first bhumi is the Parakati, third part. From the second part, from second bhumi to 10th bhumi, these 9 bhumi is the part of the meditation. Meditation means get used to it. Now practice this, you see. You see, it takes time to purify the habits. So don't take it easy, okay? If you can take it easy, that's okay, that's good. No? But those who are like me, the habit is so ingrained, difficult to break through. No? It takes time to, you have to hit your head, on the rock many times, So again and again repeating that, So purify, have to go step by step, Because there's no other way. There's no alternative. Some people say, I give up. How you say? If you give up, you have another way. Don't have. No alternative. Sometimes you say, when you practice frustration, meditation, refuge, usually in the retreat before, say, you do 100,000, frustration. You say, can I do 10,000? You try to negotiate, It's okay if I can do 10,000. And the teacher says, oh, okay, yeah, you do that, Then our qualities decrease, You see. So that's how Dharma is going little weak and weaker, Anyhow, so this from 6th path to the 10th, the second bhumi to the 10th bhumi is all getting used to the realization that one has experienced in the first bhumi. Alternative, both meditation, samadhi, and special insight. More one could meditate in the equipoise, it's called nyamsha. Equipoise, calm abiding, resting the mind as it is, clear the mind. You see, mind is so profound, as I mentioned, so step by step. There's so many steps you take to purify all the obscurations. It's like peeling the onions. Okay. You peel the onions, big onions, you peel. What do you get at the end? Nothing to achieve. Nothing more, nothing to achieve. And that's the call. Dila such a chame, shabacha, jungseme. There's nothing to purify. There's nothing to aid new thing. You just have to have the wisdom to see it as it is directly. So from second bhumi to the 10th bhumi, it's called Parasamkati. Then the 5th, when you've done all up to 10th bhumi, after you finish the 10th bhumi, like Buddhahood, Bodhi is a full perfection, total enlightenment, Buddhahood. So this is what is about here. I just say very briefly, there's a lot of things you can discuss on this, describe on this, but you get some vague understanding. So gati is mentioned, gati, so go, or realize, both meaning, and then go beyond, go far beyond, and then you arrive to the destination of the Buddhahood, enlightenment, Bodhi. So this put as a mantra. Om start with Om, and at the end Swaha. Swaha means may I realize as it is. Om is the beginning of the mantra. All the mantras start with Om. Om mani padme hum. Om dari tu Swaha. All would start with Om. Om, Hum. The three is combined. Body, speech, mind, all together. Om. Yeah. Then next he said, in this way, Shariputra, Bodhisattva, Mahasattva should train in the profound Paramita. So now, our Lokeshwar is saying now to Sharan, now this I said all these things. So this way, Shariputra asked directly the question. So Shariputra, all the Buddhas, all the Bodhisattvas, everyone, Mahasattvas should train, study, practice this way, go step by step for enlightenment. Exactly like as mentioned, going to school. Elementary school, then your medium school, high school, college, university, go step by step. Then in this, so in the profound Paramita. Because it's so profound, it takes to penetrate the profundity of this, your mind. Basically, it's your mind. Sometimes we say emptiness is looking outside. Emptiness, your mind, the profundity of your mind, to reveal all the steps of the mind, need all this part. Then the Bhagavan, Buddha, the blessed one, rose from the samadhi, coming out of his meditation. Actually, Buddha, in the Buddhas, there's no distinctions, meditation or non-meditation, because Buddha perfected meditation, always meditative state. At the same time, Buddha in the meditation state, Buddha can talk, give teachings. Buddha gives teachings from within the meditation. No separation from the meditation. But there's no duality. Now in Tibet, Dikung, Dikung Monastery, we have one great meditator. His name is called Trashirabden. You can see sometimes this evidence. Since 1981, beginning of maybe 82, he entered to the monastery. And from there, he studied and went to retreat. How many years now? 30, 40, 41, that many. Total dedicated. He received all those teachings, instructions under the Rinpoche. And Dinzinima, also the two greatest teachers came, in our lineage. In his heart, I haven't met him, but I saw the picture and I heard a lot of information about him. He is in the retreat, in his retreat heart, no possessions. He's by himself, no attendance. Maybe he makes a fire once in 2-3 days. And he eats samba with yogurt, something like that. And he wears Dhamma robe like this, and he meditates day and night. And when there are some people want to see him, whatever they request, he reads, gives short instructions. He doesn't talk too much. Short instruction, and give the transmission. Just for example, with Rinpoche. Can you give me transmission of some like mantra? Amitayu mantra. Say no. Namo Bhagavate Arahamata Ayogena Punya. Namo Bhagavate Ayogena Suvini Duranta Tata Kataya Arahatya Samya Samputaya Tayata Umpuna Puna Mahapuna Aparimeta Puna Aparimeta Jana Sambara Baza Omosara Sam Sakara Parishil Dharmatika Kana Samokaja Soba Puja Soha. Without any looking here and there, with a full meditative state is chanted. And that's it. Please give us Hadasilva Vajasatva mantra. Om Vajasatva Samaya Manu Palaya Vajasatva Denobati Dutta Member, Sudokaya Member, Sudokaya Member, Anurata Member, Solasita Mepraya, Soakan Sudan. Sudan Shiria Guru Hum Ha 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 Hom Bhagavan Soda Mardama Memunda Mardabawa Maha Samaya Sato Ah. That's it. It doesn't say finish or not finish, complete the mantra, and then they always the meditative state. It doesn't talk with anybody. So now it's so well known in the area. When was our last Monkey Year teacher, a Monkey Year celebration? You remember? 2016, I think somewhere there. He and His Holiness Chungzang Rinpoche there, that year I heard 700,000 people gathered there. So during that time, His Holiness has given power transmission and some initiation, and he gave the five-fold path of Mahamudra transmissions. So he's alive, we have. No, still. Highly accomplished. People that area, they're just crowded to see him. But then every day, so many people coming. The government said, enough, not too much, There's too much for one person every day, he need rest for, at least 1 or 2 days in a week, So it's well known that. It's just information. Still, we have this kind of great teacher. Tashi Rabden. Yes. Yeah. So related to this, okay. So Bodhisattva should train, just coming for the training. He was training day and night. All the days meditating. But me, I'm just talking to nothing's trained. Then then the Bhagwan Buddha, blessed one, rose from the Samadhi and spoke to the noble Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva. Well done, good. Lexo. Well done, good. Oh, son of noble family. That means you spoke as I speak, It's the same as I speak. That's what it said. This is Heart Sutra, is Buddha's teaching. Buddha, in the first beginning, by blessings to Buddha, by the power of the Buddha. At the end, Buddha said, you have done well. This is what it's supposed to be. And it is. And you say, well done, good, O son of the noble family. Thus, it is. So that is what it is. O son of noble family. Thus, it is. So Buddha repeating, making sure that everybody should study, practice this, as I said, as Buddha said. One should practice the profound Prajnaparamita, just as you have taught. And the Tathagatas will rejoice. So I rejoice. Not only Buddha, the Shakyamuni Buddha, but the Buddhas of all the 3 times. Rejoice. Have this permission. That's why sometimes we may wonder, this is speaking by Avalokiteshvara, not Buddha. How you say this Buddha's teaching? But all the confusions dispelled. That. When the Bhagavan had said this, Venerable Shariputra, then say, and noble Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, all those surrounding them, and the world with the gods, humans, asuras, and Gandharvas rejoice and praise the word of the Buddha, the Bhagavan. as Buddha said, well said, well done. I rejoice. So everybody in the world, they all are rejoice. Human being, non-human being, everybody who knows that, understand. So this is a brief explanation of the Heart Sutra. Now we are closer to enlightenment. Excuse me, a little closer, isn't it? Yeah. That's the most important is, as I mentioned, rely on those teachings, meditate on those teachings, the Buddha's message. Our Buddha nature is not created by Buddha. We have the Buddha nature. And it's equal, everybody. There's no one is better than others. We should have that kind of confidence. Have the confidence, and then meeting the Dharma teachings, and rejoice. And regarding to the 6 parameters as well here, and also not only these things here, practicing Dharma. When you study and practice Dharma, there's a lot of support coming. See, like retreatants, like as mentioned, like Dasharabdha, he went to retreat for a long time, for many years in the retreat. First of all, he has a precious human life. And he met the excellent teacher, Guru, who is totally accomplished those practices. And he received teaching from those teachings. Then he went to retreat. He got support, food, and these things, because he practice of generosity. In his life, previous life, that life, he practiced practice of generosity, giving. Because that he got enough support, maintain his retreat. He practiced morality because he got a precious human life. And he practiced patience because he met excellent teachers, patience. And he enjoys the practice Dharma. He fully dedicated, unlike many others, continuously, because he practiced the perseverance for many lifetimes. And he has such great samadhi to capture the Mahamudra. Samadhi is basically, you should understand, is common to Buddhists, non-Buddhists. Even non-Buddhists, there are many, they practice meditation. It's common to all, but it's very important for the Buddhists as well, as a foundation. Some may say, oh, very similar, they have also meditation. They say, yes, that's okay. You should accept that. But then special insight is, it's a special insight. It's uncommon. What Buddha taught, how to free from samsara. So that he got such kind of wisdom. It's because the profession of the 6 parameters. Okay, so why it is important? Even while you are practicing Dharma teaching, to get all the support, you need the support of the practice with 6 parameters. Then on the way to enlightenment, we need practice of 6 parameters. This all how important each other. We should inspire this way, practice Dharma teaching this way, deepen our mind more in the study, practice, especially bodhicitta. Lord Jidusungwa said in his Khenchen one statement, Sungwe Kolo, Menjung Changju Sep, Sungwe Kolo, the wheel of protection. What's the wheel of protection? It's the magnificent bodhicitta. Yeah. Buddha is embodiment of bodhicitta. Bodhicitta, relative bodhicitta, and absolute bodhicitta. Buddha has perfected that bodhicitta and attained Buddhahood. It's not just being a kind, nice, it embodies hope. The total path towards enlightenment. A highway. Highway towards enlightenment. No interruption of the what's called that traffic light, okay? And it's consummate path. So we put very important in the emphasis of the loving kindness, compassion, bodhicitta. For your father, understanding even this, again in the jewel ornament of liberation. Buddha explains so beautifully about the practice of loving kindness. And compassion. In the bodhicitta, there's 10 topics. It is through the 12, yes, through the 12 topics, we described about how to cultivate bodhicitta and practice bodhicitta step by step, training. And the jewel ornament of liberation is the first Lamrim teaching that wrought by the Tibetan master. And because of his comprehensive, not so detailed, not too much, but right size that we can study, complete in the Sutra system, right from the beginning to the enlightenment, Buddhahood, with the 5 parts, 10 bhumis, all described there, and then including Buddha's activities. So now how we are doing? We are doing okay? Okay, wonderful. So Dharma teaching, this is now just brief introduction. This next for a few days, this last for a few days, we did this from my limited understanding of the teaching. Any questions if you have? We have about 20 minutes. As I started from here yesterday, thus I have heard once the Bhagavan was residing on Vulture Peak Mountain in Rajgir together with a great assembly of the fully ordained monks and a great assemblies of bodhisattvas. At that time, Bhagavan entered the samadhi of enumeration of phenomena called the perception of the profound. At that time, noble Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, Mahasattva, Sattva, while practicing the profound, Panchaparamita saw the following. They saw the skandha to be empty by nature. So like that, this estimation, please compare with other translation. Here it said, emptiness is no other than form. I think we should say, form is no other than emptiness, and emptiness is no other than form. Emptiness is no other than form. Emptiness is no other than a form. We should say, form is no other than emptiness, and emptiness is no other than form. So please check the translation, okay, for some others. Yeah, otherwise, if you have any questions, any comments, I'll be happy to discuss if I know.
I have a question relating to the bypaths and the bhumis.
Yes,
In relation to the Prajna Paramita mantra.
yes.
Do the 4 yogas of Mahamudra and in turn the 4 empowerments relate to that at all?
Oh, you can relate to four yogas, no. 4 yogas of Mahamudra. Yeah, definitely.
I have general question about ignorance. So ignorance.
Ignorance.
Yeah, I read it was a Western author, and he wrote that people don't know what they don't know, and the more they are ignorant, they more think that they know everything.
That's
So-
right.
So,
If you're not enlightened.
and I think that we may be like this. So there is so many Dharma teachings about like variety of methods, and
Yes.
on one hand, we are taught that everything has the same essence, and we should stick with one practice, and it will lead us to realization.
Yes.
And at the same time, we get like this enormous variety of different teachings,
Yes.
different practice, and I'm assuming that we are very ignorant at the same time. So how to know, like, if we practice correct thing for like our
How we know?
Yeah.
First, there are so many books are written. Nowadays, and some they're written according to the psychology. Nowadays, mixed with the Buddha's teaching and modern psychology, making people interested. So we are not sure, So what I like is, you see, like Jewel Ornament of Liberation, as I mentioned. Read like that kind of book. And you also have to understand the point. Some people told me, Jewel Ornament of Liberation is a lot of counting this, that. So dry, This is then I felt like, they are missing the point. Like modern mentality and modern psychologies, that people communicate like that way, so they make very interesting. To become rich this life, joy, happiness, instead to free from samsara. See, you should understand that, how we can bring Dharma in our life, that which we cannot now, to bring the Dharma alive in our life, to to satisfy our ego, which we cannot get satisfaction from these modern technologies. Using that, Dharma is very strictly how to free from samsara. A lot of people are now using Dharma because you now say you use all these things, what you see the samsara you have, but now you are not so happy with that. Now what should I do to become happier? Then we read the Dharma. So maybe there's a way to how to become rich and how to make my life more happier in this life. Instead of to free from samsara. You should have that kind of awareness. See. So in such kind of way, let's say like Jewel Ornament of Liberation book, you read that. See. And there are in this each chapter there's a list. List these things. In that list there are two. From my observation, there's two. Some lists are the importance point. Some lists are for the practice. So you have to have your own understanding, awareness. These lists are information that you need. These lists are put into for our own practice. Okay. First is, just in the bodhicitta practice, in the Jewel Ornament of Liberation, the cause for enlightenment, the cause to cultivate bodhicitta, So Kambhopa mentioned there are many, but just first four. When you see the great benefit of bodhicitta, people who understand, read the bodhicitta, you inspire. It becomes one cause to cultivate bodhicitta. Then when you see the suffering of the samsara, how suffering should be free from these people, since you've been suffering. So bodhicitta make you to cultivate bodhicitta to free from all the suffering. When you see the Buddha enlightened, how Buddha enlightened, as mentioned, Buddha enlightened through the practice of bodhicitta, then you say, oh, I must cultivate bodhicitta. And then some great teacher will inspire you to cultivate bodhicitta. You must cultivate bodhicitta. So through the inspiration of the master, you cultivate bodhicitta. So like these four different things are described in the Jewel Ornament of Liberation, a cause to cultivate bodhicitta. You see, like these things. So you should know when you read the book, this way it is listed as a point or listed for your practice. This way, then you can find the book so precious. And it doesn't have so many words talking about, so many, just one or two sentences and describes so precisely of that point, that subject. And no redundant, no repeating. I find so magnificent book. Okay, so you are interested in Dharma. As I mentioned, you have to understand. You want to enjoy this life through the Dharma practice without freeing from samsara. I want Dharma to make my life joyful. And this is misuse, okay? Dharma is designed to free from samsara, okay? Then you have to have that kind of mental openness, clarity.
Rinpoche, there is a question from Zoom from a Russian student. He asked, what visualization should we maintain during Praja Paramita mantra recitation?
You can meditate, which there's some visualization or meditation. You can do anything. Like say, everything is impermanent. Depends to the individual how you are exposed to the Dharma teaching. So you say everything is impermanent. Everything stands to be nature. Meditate on that. Just that. No, it will deepen your understanding of the impermanence. No, or you can practice bodhicitta. Keep the bodhicitta in your heart. May every sentient being is free from samsara, attain Buddhahood. And then or sometimes what you can do is see everything's just a manifestation, reflection of the mind, reflection of the karma, deepen your understanding on that. See, go more deeper into that and chant the mantra. Or then if you can understand and meditate in the Mahamudra, and then you can do that. Those are so while you're chanting the mantra, you can do this in this kind of meditative state, or the Mahamudra state, non-duality, all in this state, then you can chant the mantra. Any more questions there?
This might be a silly question, but do you know why the Buddha had Avalokiteshvara say the sutra? Why didn't the Buddha say the sutra himself?
In the Buddha's teaching, there are many this first we should understand. Buddha has no limit. Okay. Totally free, limitless. No. So, she's just Sise Sangye Chawachis. Here nobody speaks Tibetan, so I don't know how to translate that. It's from the Khenchen text, one virtual statement. Sheja Sise Sangye Chawachis. Every possible phenomena that exists can exhibit Buddha's activities. No. No questions now. That's wonderful. So it's time. No, we're still 5 minutes. Is that right? Yes, we can say the dedication. Yeah, first of all, during this visit, I'm so happy that I could come here And now here, first of all, dedication, you stay from here, okay? From this booklet. But before that, the page 11, you start from there. Page 11, you said the dedication prayers, But before that, just, want to say a few words. This last few days, I'm so privileged to come here in Seattle and meeting all of you. And I'm so happy about that. And share the Dharma teachings. And I should say, Buddha is, you can see, as I mentioned, Buddha's teaching is priceless, we should say, especially in this modern time, 21st century. If we can communicate, if we can understand, so fresh, there's nothing to change the Buddha's teaching, goes really to the mind. Suffering that exists at the time of Buddha, to dispel that kind of suffering, cause of suffering, that what Buddha realized, understood, according to that reality nature, to the benefit of that time and for the future, Buddha taught the Dharma teachings, See, nowadays, there's nothing to change what Buddha taught. So fresh. We only have difficulties for our understanding, difficult to penetrate the natures. Sometimes our way we have grown up, our culture, which is what you call confusion. Okay. So we are grown up in such a confused state of the mentality, and then difficult to get rid of that. But if we can relate to this, our mind, have a decent understanding, and then reflect a reality nature. Just say 4 elements. Fire. Anywhere you go, all over the world, you find the fire is hot. You cannot find there's a cold fire, And the wind element, anywhere, all over you go, is wind, light, And the earth, the solid, and the water, liquid, the 4 elements, there's no difference anywhere you go. And as I mentioned quite a few times, our mental delusions like the ignorance, attachment, aversion, there's no difference of that. There's no difference of, let's say, my uncle and your uncle. We cannot say my uncle is better than yours. It's uncle is uncle. It's a cause of suffering, Anybody who has it. See, even as mentioned, non-believers, doesn't matter what religion you believe. Confucius is Confucian, uncle is uncle. To respond to those, Buddha taught the teaching exactly. So we need to open our heart, relax that. And so we should put more emphasis on these things. And I'm so happy to say a few things about this thing. I'm not so good to explaining. See, I'm very limited. So I see my limitation, I want, I see Buddha, such a, teacher, So please, those who are interested, make effort and This have that, and then it's Abu Lama passed. No, I think in September he came to see me, and he asked me to visit here. And then Yang Fen also wrote me letters, so we communicated that way. So because of these horses' condition, I'm so happy to sit here. And I'm very grateful your interest in the Dharma teachings. So please increase your strength of the mind. Don't derail, as I mentioned, or the car on the track. Okay, not off the track. Okay. Okay. Sometimes the mind is very tricky. So, maybe I should, this is just only gives me more suffering. I should enjoy my life, So these things can happen. Mind is so tricky, our habit, the habit of the mind, So no matter what happens, just go forward. Don't derail the path, Oh, thank you so much. Then you said the dedication prayer from the say page
11.
11. Okay, from there.
By this merit, may I attain omniscience, having defeated the enemies, my wrongdoings. May I liberate all beings who are tossed in the ocean of samsara by the waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death. Whatever virtue sentient beings possess, whatever good they have, are doing now, whatever goodness there may be, permeate by the virtue accumulated throughout the 3 times, by others and myself, all beings filling the reaches of space enter the gateway of the unexcelled path. May they attain the Vajra holder's ground. Actually performed and mentally created, and all sentient beings of the 3 times of the 6 realms attain the 5 kayas and realize the primordial wisdom of the Buddhas in the Dharma Dhatu Mandala. Root Guru, precious one who sits upon a lotus at my heart, hold me with kindness, all the accomplishments of enlightened body, speech, and mind. I pray for the excellent health of the Guru. I pray that he lives a supremely long life. I pray that his activities spread far and wide. Grant blessings that I may not be separate from my Guru. Teachings, the only source of benefit and happiness, endure long. May the victory banner of longevity be steadfast to uphold the teachings and of the great Dharma drum, liberate all sentient beings from suffering. Remain and teach the Dharma for infinite millions of kalpas. By the might of this powerful merit, may the aspirations accomplished within this very life, may their obstacles be pacified, be auspicious, and may, just as the hero Manjushri realized things as they are, and as did Samantabhadra too, I will follow in their path and perfectly dedicate all these virtues. All such dedications have been praised as supreme ones of the 3 times. I fully dedicate all my roots of virtue to excellent conduct. By the blessing of the Buddhas who attain the 3 kayas, by the blessing of the truth of the unchanging nature of reality, by the blessing of the undivided Sangha community, may my prayers be fulfilled according to this dedication. Virtues accumulated in the 3 times by myself and all beings in samsara and nirvana, by the innate roots of virtue, all sentient beings quickly attain unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious awakening. Great Vajradhara, Tilopa, Naropa, Marpa, Milarepa, Lord Pupa, Lord Trikumpa, may the auspiciousness of the Kagyu Lamas prevail. Glorious, holy, venerable, precious, kind fruit and lineage gurus, divine assembly of Yedams, assemblies of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, heroes and heroines, Yogini, assembly of Dakinis, all of you dwelling in the 10 directions, please heed me. By the power of this vast root of virtue, I benefit all beings through my body, speech, and mind. May the afflictions of attachment, hatred, ignorance, pride, and jealousy not arise in my mind. May thoughts of fame, reputation, gain, respect, honor, and concern for this life not arise for even a moment. Compassion and bodhicitta. May I become a spiritual master with good qualities equal to the infinity of space. May I attain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra in this very life. Moment of death, may I not experience the suffering of severed from this life. May I not suffer a terrible death. May I not die confused by wrong view. May I not experience an untimely death. May I die joyfully and happily in the great luminosity of the mind itself and the crystal clarity of Dharmata. May I, in any case, gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra at the time of death or in the bardo. With this realm, for this realm encircled by snow-covered mountains, you are the source of all benefit and happiness. Tenzin Gyatso, Lord Chenrezi, may you remain steadfast until the end of samsara. Embodiment of the 3 jewels, great being who upholds and increases the teachings of the Shakyamuni. Supreme are your activities of guiding others with your perfect deeds. May you, Guru who accomplishes everything, holders of the teachings of the Lord Trikupa, great Lord of the 3 jewels, of your peerless compassion and the holy Dharma's peace and light, you bring relief to beings. May your life be long. The one known in the noble land as Arya Deva, emanated into the Gar clan of eastern Tibet as Chodingpa, the heart son of Jigten Gompo, of glorious Khenchen, remain steadfast for 100 kal. May the teachings of the great Trikum Sakyas and kind friend to strangers, the 17 great Panditas, Naropa, Marpa, Milarepa, Gampopa, Jigten Songun. Please bestow good fortune and auspiciousness. Protector, Amitayus, transcendent Lord, supreme life, everlasting stable, and who diverts from untimely death anyone who merely hears your name or thinks of you. Please bestow good fortune and auspiciousness. Living austerely in the higher training of discipline, full of compassion of those to be tamed, devoid of all grasping, never parting from Mahamudra's natural state. Neden Tempe Nima, son of the teachings, may life remain firm. May the teachings of the great Drigompa Ratnashri, master of interdependence, omniscient Lord of Dharma, seen all knowable things, be upheld until the end of cyclic existence through study, practice, renunciation, meditation. Long life prayer for Venerable Khenchen Rinpoche. You are richly endowed with the glorious wealth of Dharma knowledge, who through reflecting and meditating have actualized the self-aware absolute reality and shine with the 100,000 light rays of ethical discipline of the Buddha Dharma. May you, Khenchen Ratnadwaza, live long. Swasti, guardian of the original Dharmata, presiding master of all Buddha families, chief of an ocean of mandalas, great secret of the 100 Buddha families, most magnificent of the various appearances, dispeller of the 6 realms hardships, this Kagyu Lama, embodiment of all Buddha families, bestows all goodness, most resplendent of wealth holders of the sages' full liberation teaching, most magnificent of world holders of the fully pure attainment lineage, most supreme of essence holding elements that dispel the multitude of hardships, I supplicate this great all-knowing guide to the path. He differentiates into provisional and definitive the transcendent practice of complete study, realizes as the two truths the transcendent practice of unmixed contemplation, and actualizes the transcendent practice of unmistaken meditation. May this maintainer of the sage's tradition have a long life. Of all scripture and understanding, in the sutric and tantric teachings of the conqueror, diligent with pure discipline in the sutric and tantric teachings of the conqueror, excellent, supreme mindset in the sutric and tantra teachings of the conqueror. May this clarifier of the jewel, the conqueror's teachings, have a long life. He roars the thunder of the teachings of the Gonchik, flashes the 1,000 lightning bolts of the ignorance-suppressing Gonchik, showers the sweet rain of the undeclined Gonchik. May this expert bearer of the Gonchik standard have a long life. Comprehensive Dakpo attainment lineage, preserver of the supreme path, unmistaken in all aspects of the meaning lineage, propagator to those of Mahayana family, the profound dharmas of the transmission lineage. May this great being who upholds the Kagyu teachings have a long life. Of the 3 jewels, 3 roots, and the Dharma guardians, changeless sphere, truth of all that is good and beneficial in the 3 times, full purity of the 3 faiths, may the indestructible 3 secrets, Gyaltsen Lama, blaze always with magnificence, goodness, and virtue. 1,000 arms are the 1,000 wheel-turning kings. Your 1,000 eyes are the 1,000 Buddhas of this fortunate eon. Bounce like space, I supplicate to the Bodhisattva Chenrezi.
Thank you, Rinpoche, gave us such profound teaching. Everybody love your teaching, and we request you come back many times for teaching us, because your teaching is so wonderful, so everybody can get a benefit. So we also will post on YouTube and Facebook, so all over the world people can watch in the future. Also, we wish you good health, long life. So the Dharma will to all over the world long. Please take care of yourself. Also, I'd like to thank all the volunteers, the translators, and Vietnamese, Russia, Chinese. So with all the translator, we have cannot completely understanding Rinpoche's profound teaching. So also thanks all of the you come to teaching. I like to thank Jeffrey, learn the song for every. For Khenchen, wonderful job. If with all of you, we cannot make success for the teaching. So please, everybody request Rinpoche come back.